Welcome to G.A.M.E, the show that covers games, arts, movies, and everything else. And now, here's your host, GQ.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. As you can see, got my bishop suit on today, and we're going to be talking about something a little bit more serious, just a touch. You know, before we even get into that, I would like everybody to take your time, subscribe to the channel, like the channel. Also, make sure that you email us, gameshowchat@gmail.com. Follow us on good old Twitter, @gameshowchat. But the topic today, we are going to be talking about Marvel and DC. We know about them, comic book publishers, they're the biggest two out there. But what about some of those other publishers that are out there, the indie publishers, some of the ones that most people just don't get a chance to really find out too much about? You know what, we're going to bring a very special panel today for this one, but before we do that, I'm going to pass around the collection cup. Gentlemen, collection cup.
I'll pass.
All right. Apparently we got some heathens on the panel today, but that's all right. We're going to welcome Waffles to the show. And our new member here, Kenshiro. He's on the show. So, gentlemen, game on. What is it about these other comic publishers? Why are they not getting as much love as Marvel and DC?
Take it up, sir.
I think it would have to do with the movies that's coming out now. All the Marvel movies and actually, they have a fan base just installed for 50 plus years. So, you know, with Image coming out in the 90s, you know, you had the Spawn movie, but that didn't really go anywhere. They had its chance, but it didn't really go anywhere. And it's kind of picking up steam now with The Walking Dead now. Everybody's obsessed with zombies now for some strange reason.
Now Walking Dead, that's a Dark Horse comic.
That's Image.
Yeah, that's Image. Okay, that's Image. I apologize. Go right ahead.
And another reason I would have to say is I'm having a brain fart here.
Need some help there, right?
Yeah,
need some help there, right?
Take your time. We're going to turn this over to Kenshiro.
All right, okay. Check it out, okay? Everybody's not into superheroes, right? Everybody knows that. You know, some of the people might like that medieval stuff. Some other people might like gangsters, you know. Basically, there's something for everybody out there. As Mr. Waffles here alluded to, Image is out there, and when they first came out back in the early 90s, they were edgy. I mean, they put the edge in everything. One of their characters, one of their original characters created by Eric Larson, the Savage Dragon. He's a Chicago cop. He's an alien, lost his memory. What made Dragon so edgy was because he was tough, he was strong, he was indestructible, he could regenerate whatever limbs were cut off. But what also made him edgy is that he was banging everything walking, man.
So you mean to say he was a tad bit promiscuous?
More than a tad there, sir. More than a tad.
Okay. Well, this is a family show, so we don't want to talk about the promiscuity too much. However, continue, please.
Okay. All right. Okay. Besides Savage Dragon and Image, and now Image has kind of tamed him down. Of course, Image also has, you know, like you said, The Walking Dead. They also have this character called Invincible, who I consider to be the best superhero book that's going out there right now. And what makes it so great? Okay, Invincible is the son of a very, very powerful superhero named Omni-Man. He gets his powers as a teenager, much like Spider-Man did. But he's kind of relatable to a lot of younger kids. But it's the action in Invincible that sets it apart. You have Dragon Ball style. Don't know if you're familiar with Dragon Ball.
I'm very familiar with it.
Okay.
Very familiar. That show has been around. I love that show.
If you've seen DBZ, it's kind of pictured like a superhero version of DBZ, like because the way how his parents are, they're sort of like Saiyans. Like,
right.
There's super strength. They're like ridiculously stronger than any other heroes.
Think about it in the way that even DBZ didn't go as far as Invincible goes, because you would think someone that like Goku being punched through a mountain and the mountain crumbles, you would think that these dudes would be able to punch through bodies, right? happens all the time in Invincible. All the time.
Okay, so essentially they're going a little bit further than your mainstream ones would go.
Oh,
because
yeah. Most certainly.
They're kind of in a niche market.
They are.
They're a
Yeah,
little bit
they are.
smaller, and so they're able to
Get away
just go
with
ahead
a
and
lot
do.
of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. They're
they
able to
are,
get away
you
with
know.
other things.
So if you didn't want to go with Image, say you wanted to go with someone like, say you like science fiction, okay? Let's pick a popular science fiction vein. Everybody likes Star Trek. Everybody likes Star Wars. Dark Horse also has Star Wars. Dark Horse has the Star Wars brand right now, and it's. We want to see what's going to happen since they, Lucasfilm's been acquired by Disney, and Disney also owns Marvel. We wonder how long the Dark Horse books are going to last, even though they've been very successful over the last, 10, 15 years. They've got a current, Star Wars book that actually takes place right after the end of Episode 4, New Hope, and before Empire Strikes Back. You've got over at IDW, they have the Star Trek books, and the Star Trek books actually follow what happens after the current movies. So after the whole reboot happened, you're following the current adventures of the Enterprise on its 5-year mission. And then all going back to Dark Horse, if you're not into sci-fi and stuff like that, they have Conan the Barbarian over there at Dark Horse. And I actually happen to love that book. I really do. Same thing with Red Sonja that's over at Dynamite.
Okay, now Waffles, what are some of your favorite books, sir?
I had to go back to Image, and I would have to say, you ever seen Luther Strode?
I've heard of Luther Strode, yeah.
Those books are incredible. And what else? I said Thieves. I said that on a previous episode. And I'm trying to think of some.
You said
other
Thieves,
books.
Thieves,
Thieves, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if you got into that. It's like it's kind of like a heist type book.
Okay. So you put it like a crime type thing?
Yeah, like the Image has like books for
literally everybody.
everything.
Yeah,
like
they cover everything.
Sex crimes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a new one.
Oh, Sex Criminals, yes.
Sex Criminals, yeah.
Yes, I love that
Sex
book,
Criminals,
yeah.
That's a good one.
So you're getting a little bit.
We're sorry. We're
getting back on the other
offense.
sex
No, it's not an offensive thing. You're getting a little bit excited about the sex crimes. Now, is there something in your past that we need to address?
No, sir. I'm just saying. I'm just following that sex sells.
Well, unfortunately,
Indeed,
it does.
it
It does indeed sell. However, what about why are none of these properties being turned into movies?
Again, I think to what Waffles even said, they have the DC and Marvel characters. They have staying power, but some of them do get made into movies. Road to Perdition, that Tom Hanks movie, that was actually a graphic novel. What was that other one that starred Viggo Mortensen? I forget which one it was.
Was that Cowboys and Aliens?
No, not Cowboys and Aliens. That was Harrison Ford and Daniel Craig. That was also a book, but there was Viggo Mortensen. I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Okay.
But that was also a comic book. So there are some that are being developed in the comic books, and I believe it's because Hollywood has kind of gotten hip to this, saying these are great storytelling material. And comic books, they are an incredible storytelling format where the panels themselves are pretty much replacing the storyboards. So basically, it does a little bit of the work for them, and it's very little adaptation that needs to take place. Sin City was also another
Sin
one.
City was page for page.
Right, page for page. Right out of the book.
Well, from what I understand,
300 too.
Movie
Even
300,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
300 was done off of Frank Miller's graphic novel.
Right.
So they just essentially took that almost like it was a storyboard.
Right.
And from what I understand, the pitch, they animated some pages from that and showed it as storyboards in order to get that movie made.
That's right.
Now, just real quick, because we're running out of time, best books from some of the publishers that you like, just right off the top, just real quickly.
Not apologizing for anything, but Invincible is my number one. I mean, actually, I look forward to that book anytime I get to read it.
Waffles.
I'll have to say The Eighth Seal. It's a digital comic book, I think by Thrill Bent. It's I think they're on issue 5 now, but when you read it, it's panel for panel. It's like it's animating itself as you read the comic book.
Well, gentlemen, unfortunately, we are coming to the end of our show right at this time. For those of you watching, make sure you subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook. And make sure you also email us, gameshowchat@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter @GameShowChat. Also look up History of Violence, because that is another one that I have been told is a very interesting one.
That was the one.
And you also need to remember at all times, support us and make sure you send your donations in to me personally. Gentlemen, game over.
Take his name, really.
I take my mind off her and then crawl back inside myself. It's almost killing time and I better get sharp. I check the list. Rubber tubing, gas, saw, gloves, cuffs, razor wire, hatchet, ladders, and my mitts. I'm sorry, kid, but I haven't even started with this creep. And I don't want you watching the rest. It'll give you nightmares.
Hey, Nancy, you got any beers?
She doesn't quite chop his head off. She makes a Pez dispenser out of him.
Yeesh.